Yeah.
Oh, the Wailers.
The Wailers.
Very much so.
Very much so.
The Jamaican snares. OK, Helen.
Hi.
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 Dorian has taken Bob Marley and the Wailers off the board. There are 5 options left to you. How well do you know these bands?
Not very well. I've heard of 1 or 2 of them. So...
Is music one of your interests?
I know what I like and I like what I know, but there's big gaps in it, I'm afraid. So I think I'm going to be all right on this round now. OK. Now I'm going to go for the Bad Seeds, and I think that Nick Cave is most associated with them.
You're getting a nod of approval from Joe behind you. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew it. It's right. Down it goes. Not a bad answer at all, Helen. That scores you 10 points. Nick Cave.
Yeah, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. 14 albums they've released.
OK, thank you very much, Richard. Nigel.
Right.
Nigel, talk me through the board. You're the last person to have this board, so you can do your thinking out loud.
OK, the Coconuts is somewhere in the back of my memory, but I can't think of it now. The Shadows is Cliff Richard, and that's far too obvious. The Revolution, I should know, but I don't. Had been thinking about Nick Cave, but I'm left with going back and showing my age with the Mothers of Invention, where it was Captain Beefheart.
Captain Beefheart and the Mothers of Invention. It might be the best answer on that board, I'd have thought. If it's right, of course. Let's see if it is right. And how many people knew that answer? Captain Beefheart and the Mothers of Invention. No! Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer, which means you scored the maximum of 100 points. Richard.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Nigel. You will absolutely kick yourself. It's Frank Zappa.
Bad luck.
OK, let's take a look at the rest of the board. Shadows, obviously, is Cliff Richard would have scored you a fairly hefty 64. The Mothers of Invention, as we just discovered, is Frank Zappa rather than Captain Beefheart, would have scored you 11. The Coconuts, do you know who the Coconuts?
Kid Creole.
Kid Creole, of course. Kid Creole on the Coconuts. 25 points. And the Revolution?
Prince and the Revolution.
Prince and the Revolution, but scored a very low 4 points.
Fancy. OK, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Well, quite a full range. Rohan and Nigel on 100 points. Rohan, you know what you've got to do in the next pass. A pointless. Nothing less, nothing more. And it may even then not be enough. Joe and Helen, fantastic answer from you, Helen. Well done. Joe, keep up that low score and you're through to the head-to-head. Dorian and James, 45. Again, not a terrible score, sort of halfway between, really. James, low score, through to the head-to-head. OK, so let's come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we are going to put 6 more backing bands on the board. And here they are. We have got The Attractions, The Pips, The Band, Miami Sound Machine, The Crickets, Paramount Jazz Band. I'll read those again. The Attractions, The Pips, The Band, Miami Sound Machine, The Crickets, Paramount Jazz Band. Remember, we are looking for the musicians whose backing bands these are. And you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people named. Now, Rohan, Nigel has left you with a bit of a job to do here. You're going to have to score as low as you possibly can.
Yeah.
What's that board looking like behind me?
Not good at all. I don't know any of them.
Really?
Yeah. This is just the worst category for me possible.
Not a fan of music?
I like music, but it's not something that
It's music where it's the name of somebody and a backing band you just will not listen to.
Yeah, I really don't know, but I'm just going to have a wild stab in the dark. The Attractions and Diana Ross.
The Attractions and Diana Ross. Well, we'll see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said The Attractions and Diana Ross. Nigel is looking at his shoes. Bad luck, Rohan. Bad luck. Not only is that a wrong answer, which scores you the maximum of 100 points, it takes your total up to an unassailable 200. Richard.
Yeah, she was sang most famously with the Supremes, Diana Ross.
Yeah.
I won't say who is with the Attractions in case either of the other teams wants to have a go.
OK, thank you very much. Joe, Helen did fantastically well with the bad seeds there. Can you do similarly well, I wonder? You are on 10. You are through to the next round, come what may. Rohan and Nigel, I'm afraid, are going out in a blaze of incorrect glory.
There's a couple I think I know. I think Venetian Snares and the Pips.
What sort of music do you like, Joe?
Anything pop, disco. Sounds terrible, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? No, it sounds
lovely
right. Do you follow the snares?
Yeah. I've got all their cassette singles, yeah.
Yeah, all like a single. Yeah?
I'm going to go for Gloria Estefan, Miami Sound Machine.
Gloria Estefan, Miami Sound Machine. There it is. No red line for you, obviously. You're through whatever happens. Let's see how many people said that. Well, it is correct. Great answer. 24 people said that. Takes your total up to 34. Rich.
Yeah, great answer. Gloria Estefan is in fact married to the accordion player from Miami Sound Machine.
She really?
Yeah.
He's her squeeze.
Yes, he is.
Very good indeed. So, James, you are on 45. It does not matter what you say here. However, what if there's a pointless answer?
Well, I think I know two there. One I'm not going to go for is the Crickets, which is Buddy Holly. I am going to go for the Pips, which I believe is Gladys Knight.
Gladys Knight and the Pips. Dorian nods. I think that might be right. Let's see if that is right, and if it is, how many people said Gladys Knight and the Pips? Well, it's right. 41, not a bad answer. Good enough to see you through. That takes your total up to 86. Richard.
Yeah, very well played, James. Midnight Train to Georgia was Gladys Knight and the Pips' biggest hit, sold over 1 million copies worldwide. Let's take a look at the other ones there. The Crickets, you're quite right. It's Buddy Holly, would have scored you 37 points. The Attractions, Alexander.
It's Elvis Costello.
Elvis Costello, of course, would have scored you 16. The band.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, most famously, yeah, would have scored you 8 points. And the Paramount Jazz Band.
I don't know.
It's Acker Bilk.
Acker
Well done if you said Acker Bilk at home. His real name is Bernard Bilk. Did you know that? It is.
Really? Yeah. So he had Bilk.
Yeah.
If he's changing the Bernard, why didn't he change the Bilk?
I think he liked Bilk. He's currently touring with the Venetian Snares. Other prog electronica is available, I'm afraid to say.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round two, the losing pair with the highest score, it's Rohan and Nigel. Now then, I had high hopes of you going all the way through to the final.
Yep.
Well, do you know what's good? You both scored 100.
Yeah.
Rohan, he scored a good 100, though.
Yeah, mine was terrible.
A good century.
The only thing I knew was Bob Marley and the Wailers, and that was it.
It's been fabulous having you on the show, and I wish you all the very best with your forthcoming nuptials.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that you're not funding it with the jackpot. I had high hopes that that jackpot was going on champagne. Sadly, not to be, or at least not your champagne.
No.
Anyway, thanks very much for playing. You've been great contestants. Thank you. But for the remaining two pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Well done, Joe and Helen, Dorian and James. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to the final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £7,500. You're now going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. You are now allowed to confer. That's the good news. All you have to do is come up with an answer in each instance that scores lower than the opposing pair, and you will win that point. The first pair to win 2 points will go through to the final and play for the jackpot. OK, let's play Pointless. Right, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Australian states as they could. Richard.
Yeah, Australia is made up of 6 states, and we're looking for the most obscure of those.
Right, you are. Joe and Helen, because you've played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. OK, Australian states.
Then it's the most obscure.
Just as long as it's right.